Hello, my name is Haithum.
Hello, my name is Brian.
Today we'll be explaining about how the environment and humans are being affected by water pollution in rivers of India.
We chose this topic idea because we wanted to dig deep into the issue and find the solution to this massive problem in India.
If you didn't know about this massive issue, almost 80% of India's water is contaminated.
You might be asking yourself, what is water pollution? Water pollution is the contamination of water bodies, such as rivers, oceans, lakes, etc. The most polluted water bodies in India are rivers. You might be asking, when did this begin, or when has this been a massive issue? As we all know, most of the countries in the world have water pollution, but India's crisis is severe.
The issue could have been around as long as we know, but the government started taking action in the year 2000. The most recent water drought occurred on April 20th, 2016, has left 300 million people affected. Throughout the whole country, the heat wave extended while the country being at 40 degrees Celsius.
Water pollution has been affecting the citizens of India and also the animals of India. When animals consume polluted or untreated water, it leaves them sick and unable for them to be consumed by the citizens of India.
Some examples of animals affected would be fishes, cows, chickens, sheep, street dogs, street cats, etc.
When crops absorb the polluted or untreated water, they grow but not successfully.
The pollution of water is affecting people's everyday lives in multiple ways. People aren't able to bath in contaminated water, leaving their bodies dirty, not able to clean their clothes, and of course, they can't consume the water their bodies need, leaving them exposed to multiple diseases. You might be asking yourself, how is 80% of the water polluted? It's from various of reasons. The first reason is Hinduism. How does Hinduism pollute the water? Well, people bath inside rivers, performing prayers in a plastic bag. After praying, they release the bags into the river. And with the Hindi population of 1,025,430,000 people, 73% of India's population, you can imagine how polluted it will be after everyone does it.
Another main factor of water pollution is industries in India. There are approximately 98,000 factories in India, and all are creating water pollution, somehow, some way. All of the industries' pollution added together is 83,554 million liters per day. The biggest waste creator is electroplating industries, followed up by engineering industries, paper mills, steel plants, textile and sugar industries are small contributor to water pollution.
How does the population affect the pollution? The more people there are, the more pollution there is, the more people working for factories.
The population in India has been affecting rivers in very negative ways. The most pollution in one river is the Markanda River, with 490 million liters of polluted water per day.
Dead corpse is another cause of water pollution. Since the majority of the Indian population lives in poverty, they can't afford coffins. They throw them in the river because they think it's going to clean the river and take their past sins.
They don't only throw dead human bodies in the rivers. They also throw dead animals as well as cows, dogs, and cats. Those are just some examples of what they throw in the rivers. India is the #1 most polluted country in the world. Rivers in India serve as dumping ground industries. In 2010, every river in India was found with high levels of BOD. How does the population affect the pollution? The more people there are, there will be more factories causing more pollution.
As you can see from this data graph, organic chemicals create 100 million liters of water pollution per day. Then come distilleries with 103 million liters of water pollution per day. Fertilizing plants comes third with 156.4 million liters of water pollution per day. When fertilizers are used on plants, it percolates in the ground and contaminates the underground water, meaning after the fertilizer is finished with the plant, the fertilizer gets soaked underground and pollutes the underground water. Sugar industries create 410 million liters of wastewater per day. Steel industries create 1,087 million liters of wastewater per day. With 3 million cotton factories present in India, it all adds up to 1,746 million liters of water pollution per day. Pulp and paper industries create 1,906 million liters of water pollution per day. The highest waste creator on this graph is engineering industries, creating 4,250 million liters of water pollution per day. Let's talk about the two largest rivers in India first, the Ganges River and the Yamuna River second.
The Ganges River is the second largest polluted river in India. The river runs through 11 states and 29 cities.
500 million people live along the river. Although this river is a major health risk, this is the second most important river for religious purposes. 2 million people bath in it daily. Bathing in it is holy for the Hindus. Bathing in it clears them from their past sins. 500 million people live along the river. Although this river is a major health risk, this is the second most important river for religious purposes. 2 million people bath in it daily. Bathing in it is holy for the Hindus. Bathing in it clears them from their past sins.
The Ganges River is the largest providing river in the world, meaning it provides water for 40% of India's population. The waste from this river alone covers 1,800,000 kilometers squared. In just a few weeks, 70 million people bath in it. The river contains high levels of mercury.
Let's now talk about the Yamuna River, the largest river in India. The river runs 1,376 kilometers or 855 miles long. 57 million people depend on Yamuna's water to survive. The river has a flow of 10,000 billion cubic meters.
This river provides 70% of all Delhi's water. This is the only river in India that has reasonably good water. The BOD ranges from 14 to 28 mass grams per liter. BOD, also known as biochemical oxygen demand.
The river goes up a mountain and the elevation is around 6,387 meters. The main reasons of pollution in this river is pesticides and fertilizers.
What is the government going about this water crisis? The government have spent $140 million in recent years. The project failed and has been abandoned by the government multiple times.
The government predicts that the water crisis will be solved by the year 2020. The Indian government will be investing $4 billion to solve the issue.
The government plans for the recently failed project was spending all the money available on tools and machines to convert the contaminated water into fresh drinkable water. The government abandoned the plan and haven't done anything since.
The people of India have spoken loud and clear about this problem to the government. There has been no progress done to help the cause. There are some ways the Indian people have protested. Communities rallied together to start a protest raising awareness about the problem. Another way of protesting was not eating and starving to death. An example of this is when a man starved to death for the protest of miners affecting the water quality of his local river.
The ways to minimize the population's waste would be to enforce strict laws to prevent industries such as electroplating to create water waste. If this were to happen, it would minimize the amount of polluted water being released by factories.
Another way to minimize the population's waste would be enforcing paper bag usage for religious prayers instead of plastic bags. After each prayer in the river, plastic bags are released into the rivers. If changed into paper bags, paper can disintegrate into nothing.
Those are some ways India can start solving the problem.